The discharge of former Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, former Deputy CM Manish Sisodia, and others in the excise policy case is being seen as a major legal and political development. But while the order reshapes the case dramatically, the battle is far from over, either in court or in politics. Here's what the court said and what it means and what happens next. The Delhi court made several strong observations about the prosecution's case. First, it held that there was no prima facie evidence linking Arvind Kejriwal to any conspiracy. His name appeared mainly in a late statement of one witness with no independent corroboration. Secondly, the court said that the allegation rested largely on a single weak witness statement, which by itself cannot establish criminal conspiracy. Thirdly, the judge found no evidence of Kejriwal personally manipulating the excise policy or granting undue favors. The court clarified that merely approving a cabinet decision does not amount to criminal intent. The order also questioned the investigation itself. The judge noted that certain steps appeared like anticipatory manipulation rather than fair investigation. In a rare move, the court even recommended departmental proceedings against the investigating officer, saying an accused had been arraigned without sufficient material. A key prosecutor claimed the so-called 36-page government of GOM report theory also collapsed. The court found inconsistency between the alleged document and official records. Similarly, alleged meetings central to the conspiracy theory were backed largely by approver statements without documentary or electronic proof. The court also flagged reliance on hearsay, contradictory statements, and allegations introduced late in the probe. Importantly, in corruption law, proof of demand for illegal gratification is essential, and the court found no such proof in several instances in the liquor policy scam. Ultimately, the judge concluded that the prosecution failed to meet even the grave suspicion threshold required to frame charges. Despite the strong language of the court order, the case is unlikely to end here. The Central Bureau of Investigation is expected to challenge the discharge before the Delhi High Court. Investigative agencies almost always appeal in high-profile corruption cases, especially when courts criticize the investigation. The High Court will not conduct a fresh trial. Instead, it will examine whether the trial court applied the correct legal test at the charge sheet stage. If the High Court finds the judge evaluated evidence too strictly, it could revive the charges and order the trial to proceed. Even if the High Court upholds the discharge, the agency may still move the Supreme Court. Meanwhile, proceedings linked to the Enforcement Directorate remain relevant. Money laundering cases can technically continue if proceeds of crimes are shown. But if the predicate offense appears weak, ED cases often become vulnerable too. So legally, the next 6 to 12 months could decide whether this case returns to trial or effectively ends. Politically, the impact may be immediate. For the Aam Aadmi Party, the order provides powerful ammunition. The court's remarks on lack of evidence, reliance on approvers, and investigative lapses allow the party to frame the case as political targeting rather than corruption. For the BJP, however, the fight is unlikely to stop. The party is expected to emphasize that discharge is not acquittal. Appellate courts may still revive the case, and the policy decisions themselves remain controversial. In other words, while the courtroom battle pauses, the political battle intensifies. The excise policy case now enters a new phase. The discharge order has shifted the legal balance in favor of Kejriwal and his colleagues. But appellate scrutiny, parallel investigation, and political messaging will determine the final outcome. For now, the case continues to play out in two arenas: the courts and the campaign trail.